Llama talk. Yes. Oh, we're a little bit late. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry.
We made it. We made it at least.
We made it. It's before the next episode. That's all that matters.
It's gonna air in an hour. But hey, I mean, you can't blame us. Well, you can, but we're sorry. We're in college. We're really busy. We had Easter this weekend and stuff, and there's a lot of stuff. But we'll always get an episode out to you guys every week. We're gonna do every episode this season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all Jack's fault. So is the thing working? Because from my end, it's not switching to your camera when you're talking.
It's not. I don't know. I can't see your cameras. I'm on my iPad. So
Oh. Okay. Well, if you people are just looking at my mediocre face the whole time, then
wait, is it
sorry about that.
because you said you couldn't hear me very well? Maybe that's the
Yeah.
problem. I'll try leaving the call and coming back.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, anyway, it was an eventful episode of Survivor. Oh, are you back?
Yeah. Does it change now?
Yeah, it's changing now, and you're a lot louder, so that's good.
Okay. Well, you know, who said Llama Talk isn't professional, right? We got this shit down.
Yeah, problem solvers right here. Anyway, Survivor, the television program. What'd you think about it? Last week's fantastic merge episode that was just it's so redeeming for the whole season. My
I
whole
know.
entire view on the season has just switched just because of that one episode. God.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't season changing, but was it a good episode? Yes. It was probably the best episode this season. But still, I mean, that lackluster pre-merge still just leaves a bad taste, and they're really gonna have to pick it up during the merge and stuff. But yeah, it was a cool episode, I guess. I enjoyed it.
I mean, but like what I'm thinking is that like, okay, someone played an idol, successfully played an idol, and voted off like blindsided someone else. Like that should be game changing. That should be exciting. But I found myself while I was watching it, like I don't give a shit if Jen plays the idol. I don't care if Kelly goes home. Kelly, Jen, who cares? That's my thing. Like in
Yeah,
really good which is why I didn't really care about the episode or feel like the merge episode was that great, just because like Jen plays her idol, Jen doesn't play her idol. I don't really care, and I felt that like the idol play wasn't even like, oh my god, what a mastermind move. She's just like oh, first one after the merge, might as well play it because I really don't want to go home. It's not like it was
yeah,
like if you look at heroes versus villains at all the idol plays, like that is actually like what we should be respecting as idol play. This was just like, you know what, I'm feeling nervous. Here you go, Jeff. It wasn't like a huge strategic thing. You know what I mean? That
yeah.
people are trying to make it out to be.
I know. You know why you felt like that? It was because the no caller, they weren't even like playing the game the whole episode. It was all Mike trying to take care of Rodney, Rodney trying to set up his final four. It was that other side that was playing the entire game. And yeah, and like the no caller come in and they're like, oh, if they were smart, they try to pull Rodney in because they know Rodney's on the outs. But like they're like, oh, is Rodney smart? Joe just gives like Jen that like weird look that like, no, you don't want anything to do with Rodney. And like that's stupid. They weren't playing the game, and then at the end of the episode, they're able to get a free pass by playing the idol. I totally get where you're coming from. I was pissed off that like it was Jen that played it because I don't know. It's like what you worry about when you think of idols in Survivor. The good players are gonna get screwed by the idols because the bad players have a free pass.
Yeah, and like now, to the casuals, it's like, oh my God, Jen, Joe, and Haley are like our sweethearts. Like we're rooting for them so much. They're the underdogs. Like they dug their own hole. And honestly, like, I want to talk about Rodney more because I feel like he's playing a terrible social game, and that's just because him as a human being he can't play a good social game because he's just like great casting. Like you
Who
want him on
gets
the
it?
island. But in terms of like strategically, he's playing much better than any of the no callers who were like I said last week, and you touched on earlier. It's like they just don't do anything and expect it to get handed to them, and it does always.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of that mentality they have where like, hey, first off, why didn't they split the vote? It's such a simple split the vote situation. Why like out of all the times to split the vote, now's the time to split the vote, and they didn't split it, and that's their fault. Like that's totally on them. I understand that, but I hate when like Jen's just laughing because all the votes are coming her way, and she's like, it was basically just landed in her lap because she decided to play the idol.
Yeah, and I like honestly, I can somewhat see, it'd be risky to split the vote because they're not sure if they have will. But I have no clue why they didn't put like, okay, we have 7 votes here. Why not 7 votes on Sheeran or 7 votes on Haley? Jen was clearly the most likely to like the reason why they wanted her out is probably the reason why like she's most likely to have the idol. You know?
Yeah, yeah, I know, and I don't know. There's no way they could have known that she had the idol, but that's like it's such a like textbook move nowadays to split the votes at the merge because you don't know like everyone saves their idol to the merge like most of the time. So it's like that's the one time they're probably gonna need it. That's the one time you should probably split the votes the most.
Yeah, and I think it shows like how bad these players are on the no callers that like honestly I feel like I have been dissing Will this entire time. I feel like Will everyone's like, "Oh, Will like really got screwed because he switched and they didn't even trust him and he was the only one doing this." I feel like he played head over heels better than all the no callers and Sheeran.
Hmm.
And like it shows you like why did they vote for Kelly? Like if you're gonna do an idol play and like blindside someone, why like if it was someone who was big, I would like have some respect for that.
Yeah.
But like the entitlement and
Hmm.
the cockiness and the strategic and social poor gameplay in not having a chance in hell and reeling in people who
Hmm.
like genuinely like were open to coming over to your side
Yeah.
and being so open that like you like Jen, Joe, and Haley, they were so open that they had like a locked threesome. Like
Hmm.
and you saw Tyler and Carolyn, they're smart. They're going to separate themselves. So
Hmm.
I just don't have respect for that. Like they're
I mean,
playing bad and they're getting rewarded for it. I just don't like
yeah.
that.
I mean, it's stupid too because like they're even like even when they had like Shirin was the one that voted for him, not Will. Will left, right? So it was Shirin that voted for Kelly with
Yeah.
them, and they don't even want her there, and like she still goes with them. It's like one of those moves where it's like, okay, this is where Shirin should flip on them, betray them, go over to the other side, and she'll have a better chance at winning. But she doesn't, and it's so stupid because they're being rewarded for their bad gameplay again, like this whole season, and it's crazy to me. It's crazy, and it makes me frustrated. It makes me infuriated.
But like the only good thing I can see right now is that like hopefully Kelly leaving doesn't like make the whole entire blue collars fall apart. 'Cause I think that Tyler and Carolyn were extremely smart in siding with the blue collars, even though they have more numbers. They're clearly more divided, and I
Yeah.
think that maybe getting Kelly out will maybe help them in the long run if they can stick together and get Joe or Jen or Haley out the next few tribal councils.
Hmm.
Then it might be able to help them because the blue collars might be more divided.
Yeah. I mean, if it was me personally, I would not go for Kelly. It just seems like too safe of a move to do with like in that situation. Go for Kelly, but that doesn't really get you anywhere in the game. Maybe I don't know how this season goes. Maybe the no color are going to get handed a free pass again, most likely. But I would probably have taken out Mike. He's definitely the voice of the blue collar. He's definitely the one that's keeping everyone together and like making sure all the ties are in order and stuff. But totally go for him. It's like Philip in Caramel. They took out Philip for a reason because he was the glue. Didn't pay off, but that was the right move to make at the time.
Yeah, and I don't know. The no callers are just really, really, really bugging me. Like Joe, everyone loves Joe. Everyone's like, "Oh, Joey, amazing. He's so fantastic." But he is like the most boring contestant this entire season. The only reason why people like him is because he's good looking, and he hasn't done anything. He's only done bad things. socially the entire game. Like you're saying, like, oh, if I was them, I would vote for Mike, and I'd probably do that. I'd like that's true. I would do that, but if I were them, I would have played differently the entire time. I would have played like Tyler
I feel like
and
we
Carolyn
wouldn't
are
be in
so
that
effective.
situation.
Yeah, we wouldn't be in this situation because everyone knows that. Like, I know it's stressful. You're on an island. It's 39 days. You want to be with people you like, but you gotta suck it up and like, you know, distance yourself from Joey Amazing for
Mhm.
for just a little while, so you don't have a huge target on your back.
Yeah.
And as much as so many people are applauding, Jen for her move, I really don't think it should get any,
Yeah.
real, actual respect. Like, look back at
Definitely.
other Idol plays.
It definitely seemed like nervousness. It seemed like they never had a definitive, oh, we're voting for Jen or oh, we're voting for Haley. They just took a 50-50 and it paid off, you know?
Yeah,
And I don't know. It was stupid. It was stupid. But the one thing I did like watching this episode was Tyler. I like Tyler play the game. I like watching Tyler play the game today because I don't know. It's just there's a way that he plays that I really like, where he's like, "Hey, listen, like, what are you gonna offer me, Mike?" And it's funny because you see like Mike rubbing his back right before tribal council, and it's like, okay, Tyler, that's pretty dope. But like, he's like totally went about it the right way. He was like, "Wait, what do you have to offer me that they don't have to offer me? Because I'm crucial for you right now. Even if this vote doesn't go, I can still probably get the numbers to side with them and get you out. So like, what do you have to offer me here? I don't want to be at the bottom. I don't want to be the next to go when we get all of them out. I want like a secure spot. And I really enjoy like watching him play like that.
yeah, and especially because he's very self-aware and he knew that it's not like a Christy Smith situation or even like a Sarah from Cagayan where like they think they're the swing but they're actually might be the target. Like he knew, like he was self-aware enough to know that he actually had some power and he was going to leverage that to the best of his ability to get him furthest in the game. It might not pan out for him because of just like the crapshoot stuff that tends to happen in Survivor, but I certainly enjoyed watching him. Probably like him and Carolyn were pretty fun.
Yeah, I feel like Carolyn and Tyler are my two numbers I'm rooting for right now. I really like those two contestants, and I hope they go far. They seem like the smartest ones out there and the most in control. Because like I'd say Mike's in control in a way where like everyone knows he's in control, so he has a huge target on his back. And if like unless you're Tony, it's hard to like get to the end with that huge target on your back. But Mike or like Tyler and Carolyn are in a perfect spot where they could overthrow the power and take control of the end game and just totally write it.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I think that also. I think that there's just this tribal is poorly reflecting, you know, how the game actually has been going in terms of like strategy and social dynamics. Because the no callers seem like, oh, they're the victors. They won this battle, but like, you know, I'm just not feeling it. And I just like even if you look back at Cagayan, even though Spencer played the idol for himself instead of Jeremy, it was the wrong move. Um, at least there was some strategy, some thought process. He stood up, he looked behind him, gauged the reactions, he tried to do what was best, but and like he probably tried to like pit himself as some like strategic person that was going to give the idol to Jeremy, like not some scared, paranoid,
Yeah,
little guy that's just going to use it on himself. And I just don't see any of that with the no callers. They're just there to have fun,
yeah.
and I don't know. I just think that this cast as a whole is pretty disappointing how it's panning out. And I don't want to say like I don't want to judge this season too early, but like the first episode after the merge, I think that in terms of like Jeff,
Mhm.
this is like a huge selling point. The episode we just saw, and for me, it has not gotten me sold at all. Like I don't know if it's going to get much better from this. I feel like they're trying to say like, oh my god, this is such a crazy one of the best tribals of the season. I'm just really not feeling it.
I definitely agree. And at this point in time where we are in the season, you know, we're going in the second episode of the merge. If you can, there's going to be three male spots. Apparently, there's going to be three male spots for season 31 for season 30 cast members, and then two female spots for season 30 cast members. I plan on voting for none of them because all of them seem so boring, and I don't think they deserve All Stars. Maybe down the road, yeah, I'd like to see them again, but not this soon. They don't seem like they've done anything like that amazing to want me to see them in my TV again in the fall. You
Yeah,
know?
I 100% agree. Like, unless a lot of stuff changes and Tyler gets like shafted in like fourth place, but plays like an epic game, then like I'll throw him a vote. But otherwise, Joey Amazing, Jen Brown, they're not going to be receiving votes. I'm going to vote for it, which is, I mean, in terms of the female bracket for people to vote for, it's
Yeah.
thin, but I can definitely muster up 10 people on that list that I
You know
would want
what's
more than them.
you know what sucks though is that for casual fans, it's gonna be so fresh in their mind, and you know they're gonna have an advantage in voting because like, oh, we just watched that. Unless it's like Caramel where people realize that the season sucked at the end, you know. I just don't like the trick like they did with San Juan del Sur last season where it's like everyone loved it as a casual and stuff, but like it wasn't that great of a season, and like they didn't see that, you know, and it was so fresh in their minds and stuff like that. And I feel like with people like Jeremy and people like I don't know, maybe Jen if she's like on the bracket, like they're gonna be voted in by casuals because they were so like prevalent, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that, a show like Survivor, to have it, like, we have to question, we're not even talking about the episode, we're talking about 31, but that's absolutely fine. Like, you have to question if it's okay for America to even vote on this stuff when they don't even get, like, it's an edited TV show, and it's not like a lot of them can make an educated vote. It's not like Big Brother where you have live feeds so you can watch everything. But I mean, you have to gauge, like, if production is going to edit them one way and production is probably going to pick them anyway, is it like better or worse? I would much rather see Greg, Savage, Jeff, Shane, and then recent people also like Spencer um,
Steven.
and definitely Steven. He's going to get back. He's going to get back for sure. He has the RHAP bump.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pumped to see him play again. But for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, if you've been living under a rock for the past month, like all hardcore Survivor fans at this point probably know that season 31 is going to be America's vote, and they're going to have like 40 possible returnees, and we get to pick 20 of them, and they're going to come back for season 31. They're filming season 32 right now, and they're going to air that in the spring, and then we're going to be able to vote people in, and that's going to be season 31. It's going to air in the fall, and it's going to be all stars, and it's going to be great because we can actually like pick our cast. But I mean, you know, majority is kind of going to kind of rule in who gets in and who doesn't.
Yeah, it definitely has me worried. But at first, I was hesitant on the idea because I thought that I mean, I'm still hesitant. If it works out, we're like, oh, we have five people from this most recent cast on the season. I'm going to be pretty pissed.
Yeah.
But at first, I was like, okay, why don't they just try and make the best cast possible? Like, put Malcolm in, put Tony in, put Natalie in, put Richard Hatch, who can finally compete again. But and Rob C, who's he's saying that he won't play again, but he's going to play again.
You will, for sure.
But like I was thinking, like make the best season possible. But then now that I think about it more, it kind of makes me feel good that they're like holding back and giving these people that we never thought, like Greg Buis might play Survivor again. Like
No
this
way.
would not be a possibility. Like nobody ever thought this. Like I keep on thinking like, Blood versus Water. Like that's the last opportunity we're ever going to get to see like someone like Jervis play again. Like there's no chance that's happening again. And it's exciting that it's happening again, and it makes me feel confident that like there'll be more seasons past 31. So maybe they'll push that like huge all-star season to like 38 or 39 or something. So selfishly, we can both get on, but also so Soraya keeps on going strong, you know?
Yeah. I mean, before we get back to this episode, the merge episode of season 30, I know that's what this episode's about for Long Talk, but before we do that, Magnus, who's the one male you want to come back like 100% for season 31, and the one female that you want to come back 100% for season 31?
I would say I'd have to say it's so tough because for guys it's between Shane, Greg, and Steven. You got to go with Shane. You got to go with Shane. Like remember the TV that he made, like it's
Mhm.
my fucking seat, and like I'll kill you in your shitty apartment, and just all like go rewatch Exile Island if you haven't. Like you have to watch that again. As
Yeah.
much as I loved Greg and as many great moments he gave,
Mhm.
Shane was probably one of the most entertaining contestants in the
Mhm.
history of the show.
Yeah.
Um, and for girls, I like a lot of them. I'm one of the people that I was a big fan of Sierra in
Mhm.
uh,
Blood versus
in
water.
27, and a lot of people dislike her. I think that's just because a lot of people hype her up, and I recognize that like Tyson manipulated her and played a better game, and she wasn't a strategic mastermind or anything. But I liked her a lot. I'm excited about Kelly. I was really surprised that
Mhm.
Kelly. Well, I'm excited about Kelly Wigglesworth, but also Wentworth,
Yeah.
because I thought for sure it was going to be like a different girl was going to be like Jacqueline or maybe even Baylor or
Yeah.
something like that. So I'm excited it's Kelly because we both liked Kelly.
Yeah. Both big
But
fans of Kelly.
I don't know if I had to pick one. I don't know. What do you think for the girls? I'd probably say Kelly, even though that's recency, or Kelly Wigglesworth. I'll just go with Kelly. You can you
Yeah.
can try and figure out which one I'm talking about.
Okay. Right, Kelly, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, that's a masterful choice, Magnus. Um, I don't know. For me, I think it's definitely. I mean, Greg Buis. I want to see him, but there are people I want to see. Yeah. There's 9 more spots, so I hope like the guys I want to get in. But the number one I wanted for sure is Greg Buis. I want to see how he'll play. He's just like such a funny guy, and like, I think he still has a great sense of humor. Like a sense of humor like that doesn't just like go away as you get older. He's a goofy guy. He's like original goofball survivor. And I want to see him play again, see like if he's watched the show or what. Um,
No chance.
you, yeah, I know. You were talking about people not liking Sierra now, and like I remember when the season first came out, everyone really liked Sierra, and they really liked Vetus. But those two have like gone down so much. It's so weird. I don't know when people stop liking Vetus because like it seems like everyone else like wants like Hayden in or like John in before they want Vetus in, and I don't know. I really want to see Vetus too. But for girls, I definitely want to see Sierra. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Sierra. I think if she was given a second shot, not Blood vs. Water season, and I think she'd do really good.
I think she's the by far the most likely to have like a Parvati-esque second
Hmm.
performance because like playing with returning players like she like a fans versus favorite style, it really does make you a better player like the second time around. Like Eric Reichenbach didn't really display that too nicely, but like I'm pretty sure she's gonna bring on her A game. And before we get back to this episode, I just want to say like don't you dare vote, not you particularly, but anybody who decides to watch this, don't vote for Cliff. Don't vote for John Cody. Don't vote for fucking who are the other random people? Like
All
you
right,
have
Will,
Angie,
Will,
Tatia, Woo might get on. Woo, like I think Woo has
no,
a good chance. Um,
no, not Will. Don't vote Will. He screwed himself up. Vote people who you think actually deserve a second shot. Will had the game in his hands and he screwed it up. He messed it up himself. I'm gonna pick people who are screwed over, not by their own doing. And I don't think Wu deserves a second shot.
yeah, and I would,
Also,
yeah, go ahead.
what's funny is I tweeted John Cody. I'm like, hey, are you excited to play again? And he like favorited my tweet because I kind of want to see John Cody on again. And I guess you don't.
No, who wants to like if you like vote Vetus and Hayden before vote. vote John Cody. Like,
That's true.
John Cody's okay, but I think the guys like it's pretty competitive. Because like I do like Jeff Varner a lot, and I like Andrew Savage,
Hmm.
and I'm definitely gonna throw my votes at those people, even though I feel like their chances of winning are pretty slim.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of the female choices like Monica, Jatia, Angie, even Kimmy from Australia, like I know people like the prospect of old school players. I think
Yeah.
Kimmy would be a horrible casting decision. I don't want to see Kimmy. Like no part of me ever wants to see her again. Like give me Kelly Wigglesworth. That's fantastic. Even Teresa, that's cool. I'm surprised Gina Cruz wasn't on this for Marquesas because Jeff
Yeah.
really liked her. But
Yeah.
or even Hunter, I could see that being an old school person they bring back. But
Well, they still have
like
one more. They still have one more female spot that we don't know,
that'd be
right?
cool if it was Gina Cruz. You know what I'm annoyed about? That it's not Rob Z. That's what I'm pissed off about.
Okay. Okay, Rob. You and your Rob Z fan club, population one.
He's probably like a born again Christian now and not very fun to watch. But I wish he came back for season 8. That would have been funny. But let's get back to the episode. So what did you think um about like the immunity challenge and uh, basically like how the strategy really panned out. Like, who do you think the major winners or losers are? Like, did you think Will was like horrible? Like, I touched on it a bit, but what did you think?
Well, for Will, I definitely don't think he was a loser in this case. I mean, maybe his tribe will feel betrayed by him, but he definitely gained the trust of the majority of people. And it seems like he sided with, like you said, he sided with a side that has a lot of fractures. So that's a lot of target, like, off him. Like, if there's one, like, you don't flip. I mean, maybe Cass was smart to do this in Cagayan, but if there's one time to flip, and you're like, in Cochran's case in South Pacific, that was not a time to flip because you were obviously on the bottom. But by Will flipping in this like tribe with blue collar having like so many fractures in their tribe, I don't think it's definite that he's on the bottom. He climbed his way up the top of that tribe, and I think he didn't really. He may have lost his old tribe's trust, but he definitely gained a lot of people's trust, and he's definitely I feel in like a better situation on the top, like potentially to climb this tribe than being on the bottom with no collar.
Yeah, I just hope he comes back to camp and he's not like, what the hell, guys? Blah, blah, blah. Like, what you do? Like, I hope he's like, I understand. Like, we only had a few days to get to know each other, to gain each other's trust. I hope I proved myself too. I completely understand why you guys did it, but you guys got to know I'm like with you 100%. But it kind of makes me
Yeah.
nervous because earlier on in the season, he did that exact same thing when they
Mm-hmm.
split the votes against him, and he was like, "Oh, it's cool, guys." And then they show the confessional where he's crying about how much he loves his tribe because they killed a chicken for him on his birthday and they made it special for him. So part of me just feels like I think I gotta pretend that this is cool and like I don't feel betrayed or anything. But part of me just feels like the editing is trying to go out of their way to make it seem like Joe, Jen, and Haley weren't assholes to Will, and because I feel like the reason why he flipped had a lot to do with them, excluding him. But the edit didn't really make it seem like they were excluding him. They made it seem like, oh, so nice to Will, and he betrayed them, and everyone's going against the nice, beautiful, no-collar people, and that's the
Yeah.
only thing that worries me.
Yeah. I mean, it should be their blue collar's responsibility to tell Will why they did it. Will shouldn't like if Will like has hard feelings, it's they're responsible for like keeping him in control now because they trusted him. They forced this upon him, and if he can totally flip back to no color if he wanted to. So they need him right now. So they should definitely like tell him why they did it and the reasoning behind it. Um, but also on like who wins and who loses, I think Tyler and Caroline, as bad as it could look from their side, it's pretty good. I mean, they need like why would they can just totally ride out the middle right now, but seem like they're part of the blue collar tribe with no collar and blue collar going at each other. it's definitely in their best interest to have like two enemies going at it, so the numbers dwindle, and then they can take control of the game. Rather than just having one tribe steamroll the other and then they're on the bottom.
Yeah, because I think that as much as the blue collar tribe is dysfunctional, there was still
Hmm.
like a strong fear for them getting together and just voting off the white collars once they have the majority. And Kelly was I don't think Kelly was like the glue that held them together, but I think Kelly did have a pretty good relationship with Rodney, a pretty good relationship with Mike. Kelly was just relaxed and with everybody. She wasn't antagonistic. Um, but I still don't feel it was the best move to get rid of her. But I can feel like this divides the blue collars a little bit, and I feel like the white collars can uh, definitely ride out the middle. They can still like pretend to be the swing votes for a little while. So I definitely feel like they won, and I feel like I think everybody except for Kelly won at the tribal council.
Yeah.
In terms of the whole entire episode, I feel like the no callers are complete losers because
Well,
they played horribly.
well, if there's one thing I think that this really affects, it's probably Romney, because that was one connection to blue collar that he wanted to rely on before he started taking out blue collars. So I think this could totally drive him to like try making big moves too early in the merge. And I think Mike and other blue collars might get rid of him, you know, next episode.
Yeah, getting like Rodney, like Will swung over, Will trusted them, Will flipped, and
Hmm.
I think Rodney was a big part of convincing Will to flip, which potentially, was crucial for the alliance on the road. And it's a great strategic move. But the edit isn't giving Rodney any credit for that, and they've just been
Hmm.
doing negative, negative, negative the entire season. So I'm sniffing like a big blind side of Rodney. I'm hoping that it's not this week. I'm hoping like the final nine type thing because I really just feel like for everyone's benefit and for my benefit as a viewer, one of the no callers need to leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't care if it's a boring episode and the episode is entitled Joe's Exit Episode. Like, I don't care if he's my first fantasy draft pick. Like, it's getting unpleasant to watch them just be like, oh, look, I tripped on this idol. Up, here we go. And it's not like Malcolm, who, like, legitimately, like, he worked really hard strategically and
Hmm.
socially, and he was just a big threat. Like, these people are just laid back and doing nothing, and it works out for them. Malcolm
Yep.
didn't even win.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there is like one part in the episode that I'm like, because I like pay attention to editing a lot more since I've become like, I guess, a super fan of the show. I'm not like a super fan, but like, I'm really into the show. I've been paying attention to editing a lot more. And there's a part where like they're like, oh yeah, Joe, he can't win all of the challenges, can he? And maybe that'll be pretty douchey if he wins all the challenges this season. Could you see that happening?
I mean, I definitely could. Um,
I can see Jeff being like, "Oh, that's why this is the best season ever. Look at Joe. He won every single challenge." But then there is Joe's edit where he doesn't get that much airtime anymore, and it kind of makes you think, "Oh yeah, he's probably gonna go early."
yeah,
You
and I
know?
feel like if someone could win all the challenges post merge, then like the challenge crew isn't doing their job. They don't
Yeah.
like. I don't think those that makes it for good challenges. Like, and that's like their job is to make sure like these challenges are as fair as possible, but also cater to different strengths. And
Hmm.
I don't think Joe is the best, smartest, everything out of everyone there. Um, so I don't know. I hope that he doesn't win everyone because that's pretty boring. But
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. I mean, from the preview for this episode that's coming on in like 10 minutes,
Hmm.
uh, it looks like he gets a lead in the individual immunity challenge.
Hmm.
But I'm hoping he doesn't win. 'Cause you never know. I'm just looking forward more in this episode about what happens with idols and
Yeah.
if the no callers finally, if their luck finally runs out.
Can you, I mean, it's kind of hard to take, like, pay attention to Survivor while I'm paying attention to Big Brother live feeds and stuff like that, but, like, I heard there was, like, something with a special power or something. Can you tell me about that? Like, is there, like, a special power that Jeff revealed, like, this season or something?
I think if it's been revealed, I don't know
Mhm.
about it, but there is apparently a new special power this season, and apparently it gets played out in the perfect way. Jeff says like it plays out beautifully, so which I'm assuming means that the no callers are going to get it, and it's going to play out beautifully for them.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean,
So,
you have to look at the as much as the no callers are getting like the hero edits, the blue callers are getting like, oh, the winners on this map. Matt, we're gonna win, and then the blue callers are like the hardworking people. So I still think overall, like if I had to pick one person, I would say Mike has it.
yeah.
But um, I'm just not like even if Mike wins and Jojen and Haley get fourth, fifth, and sixth, I would still hate this. Like I would not want to watch that. Like
Yeah.
I just don't like that.
I mean, as much as like we called it, no offense. I mean, we called it Mike winning and everything, because we're the best around. But as much as that would be a good season, I probably wouldn't go back and watch it because it would have been just be a steamroll for Mike, basically. And I mean, I don't know how it's gonna play out, but as of now, I probably wouldn't go back and rewatch this season for a while because it's kind of boring.
Yeah, dude, I like this season, like really, like I don't want to give it too bad of a rap right now, but I mean, it's worse than I think that every season up to this point has been better since One World. Like even Caramone, I enjoyed more than that. And I know that's just me personally. That's a personal preference. I'm not saying that everyone should view that way. I'm just saying like I found this season really hard to enjoy. I liked the characters a lot pre-merge, and I went in. I mean, before the show pre-season, and I
Mhm.
went in with like an open mind, and even with like a little bit lower expectations because I thought Jeff screwed up all the time. He might be wrong, but I just really think that the editing hasn't been very good this season. I don't think the players are very likable. I think that a lot of the strategy has been bad, and I don't like their social media antics. I think that's stupid, and I don't like the other fans who are watching this season where they're like, "Oh my God, this is so fantastic, Survivor 30!" Like they're just falling into the hype like face first,
Mhm.
and it's just like it just makes me cringe. Like so many parts of this season just make me cringe, and it's just like sometimes it's uncomfortable to watch. And I'm the type of person that you can't not like get me to rewatch the episode the day after. And
Mhm.
like this has been the type of season where if I miss the first 5 minutes, I just finish watching and I don't even rewatch the first 5 minutes the next day. Like, and
Yeah.
that's if you know me, then that is worrisome.
Yeah. If you mentioned Panama, and I really want to go back and rewatch Exile Island Panama right now because that's like one of my favorite seasons of all time. Just because I don't know why. I feel like it's so underrated, but it's a great season, and it's so much better than this season.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like, oh ha ha ha, she got stung by a bee. Who cares? It's not funny. Like, oh, where my hand is, Jack. Like, that isn't funny. It's not funny. Go back, watch Greg Buis, watch Shane, watch Tyson, watch Courtney. Then maybe you will grow a sense of humor. Because people who think Jen are funny don't have a good sense of humor. Okay, that's point blank, dropping the mic. They're not funny people. They're like Jen is just like stupid stoner. Like if you're eating like hot Cheetos on a bagel, smoking dope, uh, or pot, or you know, or meth, or whatever you want, uh, then maybe you find her funny. But I'm just like if that's the go-to person for the entertainment portion of the season, then I think we're in for a bumpy ride. Okay, because like you have your strategic people, you have the comic relief, and you have just like the witty, hilarious person that gives you the golden confessionals, and apparently that person's Jen this season. So I missed the memo where I'm supposed to think these confessionals are great, but that's just me. I guess I'm just an idiot.
Well, you actually did it. You fucking called out hot Cheeto people. We finally reached a new low on the podcast. I like hot Cheetos, man. Okay? I'm sorry.
Okay, who gets the fucking funniest moment trophy?
I liked, I don't know, it wasn't very, maybe Jen's B thing wasn't very funny to me. I thought that was just like interesting. It wasn't funny. But
And
I think maybe,
Jen's a baby. Jen's a crybaby. And like Kelly said it in her post interviews, like Jen's just a drama queen. And so I was just like, oh great, you're just milking this so you can
yeah,
get more airtime and make the challenge more dramatic. In terms of funny moments, I'm just assuming, like, I don't really remember. I think Rodney
well, I
was
mean,
probably funny. I don't know.
I mean, there are two that stick out in my mind. One was Sharon being like, "You want me to pee on that?" And then the other
Perfect.
one,
That's a good one.
that's a good one. Hey, well, the other one was Rodney, where he's like, "I'm gonna chop their heads off" or something. Like said it so casually. It was pretty funny. But I don't know. I guess those are two. But I guess Sharon saying, "I'm gonna pee on it." That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, that's just Sharon's just so awkward. Just so
She is.
awkward. I just don't know how these people got cast.
Wait,
I
wait,
don't know
wait, wait.
how
Hold
this.
on. We have to talk about the merge tribe name. What do you
Oh
think of
yeah.
it?
I think it's. Uh, I don't hate it. I'm kind of just like indifferent about it. Like I don't really care. The season
Hmm.
has pushed me towards a lot of indifference. Like it's just like whatever. Like it's desensitized me to the point where I just don't care anymore what
Yeah.
happens. But America, I think it's stupid. I think that I kind of like it when someone's like, "Oh yeah, I named the tribe." Either if it's like a thoughtful one, or if
Yeah.
it's like a witty one, like, "Oh, I named it this, but they think it's this, but I lied and did like." I think that's kind of funny, but I don't like the combination ones or like no bag. So
Yeah.
I guess it's better than that. I thought it was kind of funny. I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have been against it if I was on the island. I would have been like, whatever, you guys. I wouldn't have lobbied hard against it, but I
Yeah.
thought it was stupid.
I mean, I think the flag kind of makes up for it. It's a pretty cool flag they made. But I think maybe the biggest joke this episode is that, oh, surprise, it's another Black Merge buff. Who would have thought?
Yeah,
Come on.
it's an okay buff. It has like purple on it, so it's okay. It's better than some.
Oh well. I mean, nothing's gonna top uh, China's Black Merge buff.
That's
Sorry.
true. That's
It's
true.
true.
Okay. Well, another fantastic episode of Llama Talk. We'll get you some BB Canada coverage like this weekend. Hopefully, we've
Mhm.
both been like super busy, but I mean, it's been a pretty eventful few weeks, so
Yeah.
it'll probably be a pretty long podcast. Uh,
Uh-huh.
but so we'll get you that, and we'll probably talk about Survivor tomorrow or sometime this weekend. Probably not as late as this one was. Hopefully
Mhm.
not. But yeah, that's it. Llama talk.
Right.
Okay, see you later, dude.
See ya.